Good afternoon, everyone, and greetings from these beautiful islands. It's a privilege and a pleasure to share with you something that I think you already know, that my brother Sanders truly is a Hall of Famer.
Broadcasters are indeed a very special breed of people, and the best have an incredible passion for their craft. It is often said that the best know their audience and understand how to serve that audience. Men and women behind the microphone working long hours, by themselves in a dingy studio or with a morning team of stars. Then out on the street with their audience, being special at every moment to make it special for every listener. And that usually makes for a good seller too, understanding the client's needs. And don't forget knowing how to manage and support others with that same passion and desire. For Sanders Hickey, it started in Columbus, Georgia, the first time he put his greasy nose on the studio window at WDAK and was amazed. He had the bug, and 12 years later, he was WDAK's program director. What a long and wonderful process to get from that moment to today. Lots of stations, fantastic team members, fellow stars on the radio, then owning and managing stations, joining Arbitron to get results for stations, and now having great fun running a group with great partners, and his own streaming station at the Georgia Club. But let's start with the partnership. Here's Eddie Esserman, partner of Golden Isles Broadcasting in Brunswick.
I was asked to speak about my partnership with Sanders. Well, we've been partners about 25 years. He's sweeter, kinder, more thoughtful, more generous, more giving, but I say more considerate than I am. And despite all of those differences, every decision that we've ever had to make, you know what? We get to the same answer. And I'm not sure how we do that, but we do, and it makes for a fabulous partnership. Congratulations.
But ownership started early in Wichita Falls.
Deep in the heart of Texas.
Well, only after a lengthy process of 3.5 years. It was K-Light 106, where the owners did everything, even back then. On air, segueing Barry Manilow records. Remotes next to a flooding river. And interviewing the pet shop owner. His partner was fellow dreamer Al Maxwell.
Many people in radio dream of owning their own radio station one day, and Sanders and I actually got to do that. We applied to the FCC back in the mid-'80s for one of the last FM stations available in the country, and we got it, and started a whole new station in Wichita Falls, Texas. It was an amazing experience. I loved working with Sanders, and he's such a dear friend to this day. Sanders, congratulations.
But notice, Al didn't have to vacuum the studio. Hey, who did the bathrooms? One of the proudest accomplishments for Sanders Hickey is his continuing service, support, and leadership for the Georgia Association of Broadcasters. He's a Golden Mike winner, a former chairman twice, and still a board member. And one of his biggest thrills was connecting Bob Houghton and Dan Valley with the National Radio Talent System at UGA. Dan talks about Sanders' impact on the future of radio, the next generation.
Sanders, your career has impacted the industry in the past and the present, but you've also impacted the future. I remember you and I and Bob discussing the possibility of a GAB Radio Talent Institute, your enthusiasm for it and belief in it, and being there to influence that important decision in the meeting at UGA. We made it happen. You speaking at all the institutes and your passion for the National Radio Talent System and for the industry itself. You've both hired students from the Institute, you've mentored others. You don't just talk the talk, you walk the walk. Thank you, my friend, and congratulations.
How does one person get all these talented, dedicated people together? Looking back, J.J. Job of Rusty Walker Programming talks about when we had hair on our heads.
Sanders, in the mid-'90s, you became a client of Rusty Walker Programming Consultants, and you've been my client and my friend ever since. That was a long time ago. Back then, we had mobile phones in our cars and hair on our heads. I've learned a lot about you since then. You're one of the best advocates for Georgia radio I've ever seen, but more than that, you're a man of integrity. You inspire, uplift, and encourage everyone you come in contact with. You have a passion for radio, but you have an even greater compassion for people. You truly do make a difference in people's lives every day. You've always been a Hall of Famer to us. Congratulations, my friend.
Lots of stations, lots of shows, lots of managers. And one of the first was Jerry Gerson, former manager at WAGQ in Athens.
I've known Sanders Hickey for almost 50 years since our days in Athens radio. Sanders is one of those magnanimous personalities. He is the consummate Georgia broadcaster. He understands the magic of radio, and he understands how to motivate and inspire others in broadcasting, including his giving of his heart and the students he's bringing along with him. Sanders, congratulations on being inducted into the GAB Hall of Fame. I've always told you, you're a mensch, and I love you.
Sanders Hickey is a Hall of Famer.
Sanders Hickey is a Hall of Famer.
Sanders Hickey, Hall of Famer.
Of course he's a Hall of Famer.
Oh yeah, Sanders Hickey is a Hall of Famer.
I hope that works. Because of course he's a Hall of Famer.
Sanders Hickey is a Hall of Famer.
Karen Hickey, you can't say that. He's your husband.
Oh, yes, I can.
Yes, we can. And Georgia broadcasters are better for it today with someone like Sanders Hickey helping them to look ahead. He's a damn good dog. And we thank you, Sanders, for your insight, commitment, and undying loyalty to broadcasters all across the state of Georgia. It's an honor to welcome you to the Georgia Association of Broadcasters Hall of Fame. Ladies and gentlemen, a Hall of Famer, Sanders Hickey.